Yes, now blessed now, don't forget the rest now. Des, King of the Pit TV signing in once again, live and large as always, at Des Rocksteady on Instagram. Let's talk music. I put out the first Radiohead video as of today. Obviously it'll be a bit later till you see this video, but it was the first tune off of Kid A. And it garnered a little bit of attention, a few eyes and whatnot, so there's obviously a great space out there for fans of Radiohead who are interested in hearing a response to the music they love. So without further ado, I'm going to get onto another record. As always, I've never heard any of this record before. My apologies. Aside from one track in particular, but it was years back, and I believe that was Karma Police. Alright, other than that, completely unfamiliar with it all. I am going to listen to Karma Police purely as it's been so long, so I'm still going to judge that as a reaction. Maybe not a first time, but you know where I'm coming from. Without further ado, we're going to get straight stuck into this. This is OK Computer. This first track is entitled Airbag. Let's see what I'm saying, people. The drums, the tambourine, and the chord progression is a little bit Oasis-y, to be fair with you. Of course, we got, is it Tom, the frontman? We've got him coming in with his like melancholy vocal line. I'm enjoying this tune so far. So Kid A was very electronic as far as the instrumental goes, very synth heavy. And from what I'm aware, this band has a particular theme on each record, or at least a different approach to it as far as the instrumental goes. So far so good, and I'm hoping that we keep the full band jamming. So yeah, let's get straight back into it, people. I'm enjoying this so far. As I said, a little bit Oasis-y, that chord progression and the drums and the tambourine and so forth, which I'm a big fan of. When was this record put out? 2000s or 90s? So if I was to judge by this initial track, I would assume if it followed the same context as Kid A, as where the introduction sort of emphasised and gave you an idea of what was to come, this is going to be quite a guitar-driven record, which I'm more than happy to go along with, really. Bassist is just giving it space to breathe here. Just chiming in at the right moment. Ooh. I'm gonna go back there. In particular, that little bass line in that breakdown section, it was really tasty. I'm sure it wasn't much different from what the bassist was sort of jamming throughout the actual full instrumental, but it really popped on that particular moment. Ooh. Badoo, badoo, boo. bassist is really groovy on this too. Got me focusing on that bass line in particular. It was all pulled back in certain sections, and then the bass line just starts grooving along and singing, and other sections such as now just very busy at this moment. A little experimental part. Still grooving. That tambourine just jamming. The drummer were jamming out, and the drums just held this incredible groove throughout the entire tune, but I can't help but think the production value is a blessing and a curse, purely as them drums sounded a little bit sampled, and as a drummer I would like my drumming to sound a little more organic personally, so I'm a little bit lost between two worlds as far as what I think about the beat and the drums there. Sounded brilliant, don't get me wrong, but you know, as far as modernizing the sound of the record, sometimes I think we can go a bit too far. But regardless, I enjoyed that a lot. Radiohead are good from what I've heard so far, because they sort of teeter the line between being, you know, experimental and a bit arty-farty, and still withholding that high level of songwriting and penmanship and creating, you know, generally appealing tunes in their records, or at least so far I've experienced that. I've only listened to Kid A, remember, so that was Airbag.